Hey y'all, welcome back to installment 9 of New Adventure, New Opportunity. It's been a busy couple of weeks. There's been a lot going on at work, plus quite a bit going on personally, all compounded by a lot of travel. Anyway, let's get back to it. During my daily pro reading, I finally finished Atomic Habits by James Clear. I really enjoyed this book. Clear breaks down the processes through which habits are formed, then suggests tools to build productive new habits and break bad habits. I took a lot from it. I don't know how successful I'll be in defeating my bad habits and forming new ones, but I'm definitely better prepared as I try going forward. Once I completed Atomic Habits, I shifted to the second textbook for my ongoing Leadership Academy. This text, Quiet Leadership by David Rock, was actually suggested by one of my prior Academy students for use in the second class. I've been into this for a couple of days, and again, I'm really enjoying it. I'm only a couple of chapters in, but it's very intriguing. Rock examines the importance of leaders working to change the way their teams think rather than focusing on performance. The principle is that by forming new patterns of thinking, improved performance will follow. It's really intriguing, and I'm looking forward to completing it. In my secondary reading, I finished Shots Fired by Joe Laughlin. And I can't say enough good about this book. It's definitely a must-read for anybody in law enforcement, but it's not written just for that audience. As I stated in the last installment, anyone who has ever had questions about law enforcement deadly force encounters should read this book. Once I finished Shots Fired, I probably should have shifted to something light and relaxing for my secondary reading, but I didn't. Instead, I decided to move on to one of Simon Sinek's books. I've been a fan of Simon Sinek since I saw him speak at the IACP convention a few years ago, but I never opened any of his books. I decided to start with Leaders Eat Last, Why Some Teams Pull Together and Others Don't. Again, as I pick up these books that have been on my to-do list, I really find myself wishing that I had read them sooner. If I can offer you one consistent lesson from this process, it is not to delay knowledge. When you become curious about something, get after it. Pick up the book, take the class, go to the show, don't delay it. I find myself wondering what I would have done differently with this new knowledge if I'd had it years ago. Do it now. My other observation through this process is how often these divergent ideas or principles are starting to synergize. Clear, Rock, and Sinek are all very different, but all of their ideas and theories support one another. All of them also support Covey's third alternative and Maxwell's 21 rules of irrefutable leadership, or 21 irrefutable rules of leadership. This period of personal development has brought consistent messages from a variety of sources. Even the practical and tactical reading that I've been doing aligns with these personal development lessons. Teaching physical skills is much easier if you can use neuroscience and evolutionary habits to enforce those skills. As the last couple of weeks have progressed, I've had a couple of personal learning opportunities. I took another one of the EF Online or Echelon Front Online learning modules. This one was eye-opening. It focused on Colonel John Boyd's OODA loop. OODA stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. It's a decision-making model that was developed to help fighter pilots make more rapid decisions in dynamic combat situations. I've been using and teaching the OODA loop for over 20 years in tactical classes. The reason this module was so poignant for me was that it was focused on expanding the OODA loop into the workplace or the office. It makes perfect sense. Every process can benefit from improved decision-making. Restricting the OODA loop to tactical situations is a waste. I also spent some time doing some online training modules developed by a friend's company. These modules are based on improving human performance. Once again, more synergy between my learning opportunities. At work, I had a great supervisory roundtable with some of my senior staff. We introduced the concept of 7 critical tasks that a leader must perform during a crisis situation. We applied those 7 tasks to what I've come to call hot box exercises. I use these exercises to put young supervisors in time-compressed tabletop exercises of incidents they might face any day. They have to complete their tasks, deploy their units, request additional resources, and prepare to turn over command. At the conclusion of the exercise, their peers evaluate them and offer suggestions on how they might have done it. This past Thursday, I learned how to run the soundboard at our local community radio station in preparation of a new project we're developing at work. More to come on that in a couple of weeks. On Friday, I traveled to Franklin, Massachusetts to attend a one-day workshop on lethal force and the objectively reasonable officer. This session, offered by retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent John Michael Mike Callahan, was outstanding. Supervisory Special Agent Callahan has years of experience investigating and evaluating use of force. His program focuses on both the legal aspects of law enforcement deadly force encounters and the physiological impacts of combat stress. Relying heavily on research material from the Force Science Research Institute and video clips, Callahan offers valuable material to anyone who teaches or evaluates use of force. This was a good one. I've been off the writing path other than my journaling and working on this blog, but at least I didn't leave this until Sunday afternoon. I actually added material 3 times in the past couple of weeks, so that's a small improvement. This last couple of weeks has been marked by some definite fun. Last weekend, Christina and I traveled to Boston. She had to attend a residency for her doctoral program. We stayed in the city, attended a nice reception at the university, and dined at the top of the hub. It was amazing. This week I trained. I celebrated my birthday with an amazing night out. I took a demo ride in a rigid-hulled inflatable boat that I'm looking at purchasing for the police department, and celebrated summer by sitting down and cracking some steamed blue crabs and crawfish with my younger brother. This afternoon, the bride and I headed over to East Hampton, Massachusetts for a final birthday gift. She booked us with Pedal and Party for a pedal-powered brewery tour. We got on that pedal-powered party platform at noon and headed out to the abandoned building brewery, the Mill 180 Park, the New City Brewery, and the Fort Hill Brewery. This was so much fun. We just got home. I actually didn't want to come down to the office to post this, but it had to be done. Not a bad couple of weeks, and the weekend isn't over yet. That's all for now. See you in a couple of weeks. Until then, be safe, keep the faith, do good work. 1 asterisk.